This is just a quick tutorial on the integration between the Victron GX range of devices and compatible multifunction displays. So I'm just going to walk you through the various settings that need to be made on the GX and show you how simple it is to bring all of that data that's collected on the GX devices up onto the navigation system at the helm. The connection at the GX device is a standard network cable, and that just connects into the Ethernet port on the back of the device. So this multifunction display is a Raymarine Axiom model running their Lighthouse software, and this is the default boot up screen showing the various Raymarine apps that are embedded into their software. But down on the bottom here there is an apps button that allows you to navigate to installed third-party apps, and you can see here a number of HTML5 apps that either were preloaded with the screen as it shipped from the factory or that have been added subsequently. And you'll notice on here that we've got the Victron app, and that's because we have actually connected this previously and the app has been installed. But if you were starting from scratch, that would not be there. And I'll just go through the process for making that connection. You'll see that some of the things that are installed by default are much more exciting than the Victron apps, things like Netflix and Spotify, and that there are a number of other products that are able to integrate with these multifunction displays, underwater lighting, stabilizer systems, etc. So there's going to become an expanding range of products that are going to be able to interface this way. The ports on the reverse of the Raymarine screen are all waterproof connections, so they deliver with the screen a specialist cable that is a standard network cable connection one end and this ruggedized connector at the other, which connects into this network port on the rear of the device. In order for the GX device to appear on the HTML5 display, we need to have a couple of settings correctly configured in their setup menu. So I'm just going to go through that now. Enter the setup menus, and in the top menu here we've got a settings option which I'm going to select, and then once in settings I'm going to scroll all the way down to the very last option, which is services, and select that. And then we need to enable the MQTT on LAN function, which you do by pressing the enter button, and then that brings up a further menu item which is the plain text option, which also needs to be enabled, and that completes the configuration of the GX device. So we've connected the network cable between the multifunction display and the GX device. So now I'm going to enter the app screen on the Raymarine, and here we can see the Victron app has appeared, and if I select that Victron app, it will then load up the information from the GX device that we're connected to. Now this page here will configure itself differently depending on what equipment is connected. In this instance we are showing some information from one of the Victron multi-units, and also some information from a solar charge controller and some battery data from a Victron battery monitor. And that, or as all of that equipment is connected to the GX device, that's what we're seeing here. Now we can elect to eliminate one of those devices if we don't want to show that data, and I'll go through that in a second. So the integration is actually two ways. This is not just viewing data that's been cast up from the GX device, but it does enable for relevant parameters a change to be made from the multifunction display. And to give an example of that, we've currently got our shore current limit set on the inverter charger at 16 amps. I can select that icon and I can turn that down to 13 amps, and we'll then see on the GX device the appropriate change. So currently Garmin, Navico and Raymarine all have compatible multifunction displays, and I think there's a direction of travel, and that we're going to be seeing more and more of the manufacturers offering that integration and across a broader spectrum of their product line, as it's just a great easy way to provide a universal interfacing option. And then in terms of the equipment within the Victron range that will connect to the GX side, that includes their inverter chargers, inverters, battery chargers, battery monitors, solar charge controllers. In pretty much all of their product line now will connect to a GX and thus through to the multifunction display.